Well, hey, there you are. Sonia here. Welcome to Sonia's Sermonettes. I'm glad you stopped in. Do you ever think about your life and how you were raised, and sometimes you feel like you possibly could have been in a little bit better environment and surroundings, and maybe even to the fact that you thought your family could have done a whole lot better than what they had done. You could have had a better lifestyle, possibly lived in a better home in a better town, surroundings, and what have you. And you kind of just got hung up on that, and it just kind of throwed you for a loop for a long time. You compared your life to other people around you, other children as you were growing up, and you wondered, why is my life so different that appears to be than what others are? It seems as if others are more content and happy and settled, and they've got the perfect family life, perfect little world they're living in, and you got your eyes on them instead of seeing what God was really doing in your life right there with your family right at that time. And the problem was you compared yourself and your family to others without even having any foreknowledge of what their lives was really about. Not everything that you think you see is what it is at all, meaning that sometimes it seems as if people have a perfect life, but they do not. You don't know what they have to go through. You don't know the lessons they've had to learn as well. But what I learned over the course of my life was this. I grew up in an environment that's a little unusual compared to what other people were living, and I realized that my life certainly was different, and I didn't feel the same as other people, and I didn't even believe the way a lot of people believed. I was being trained and taught, and something that I come to a realization is this. I truly thank God for my mom and my dad, my parents, and my family, that I felt as if I had to protect them at a very young age. When I was 13 years old, my parents were older parents, and I felt as if I should be their caretaker in a lot of areas. Took on a lot of responsibilities of helping around the house and cooking and cleaning and washing clothes and what have you. I just wanted to make it easier for them, and I wanted to protect them. I was very defensive of them as well, because I realized that people would look at us and they would look down their noses sometimes at us, and it didn't even matter how they thought we were living or how our lifestyles were. What really mattered, and what matters right now with you, is, do you really realize that you were blessed and that God raised you and was putting you through training and processing you and preparing you to be the person that you are today? And so you didn't have a perfect life. Though things weren't as you thought they should be, you are a survivor, and you have made it thus far. And you can look back and see how God had his hand on your life, how he brought you through circumstances and situations that was very troubling, very trying at times, and all through this processing, God was preparing you. I realize now that when I was young, we started gathering around the piano, my mom and dad and myself, and we'd sit around and sing gospel songs. And when we went to town, we'd always sing and ride to town singing gospel and coming home singing gospel. My mom and dad weren't great church goers. They weren't considered to be a lot of people's eyes not perfect, but they were just what God intended for me to have to prepare my life. And that's the way you should look at your life, that everything that took place in your life, God was there and he was training you. Yeah, some of us went through some hard times, very difficult times. Some went through a whole lot more than I ever thought about going through. But I realize now that when I was young, wandering around in the woods, watching the birds and listening to the animals and listening to the trees rustling in the wind and singing songs to God, I realize now God had me right where he wanted me, and God has got you right where he wants you. If you don't feel free today, possibly it's because you've held resentment and unforgiveness, that you felt as if you should have been in a better environment. Think about this. How strong are you now because of the environment that you came out of? And where is your heart at? Where is the compassion at? What I learned was I was filled with compassion. My folks taught me compassion and understanding and to judge no one for their appearance or where they were, what type of life they lived, or anything. I thank God for my parents and for the raising that I had because it's brought me where I am today, where I can come to you and minister to you and tell you, you know what? Your life is okay. Everything is okay. God has you right now, and you come through it. And thank God for where you've been, and thank God for where you're going. I'm glad you stopped in today, and I look forward to the next time. And so, until next time.